Killer stepdad thinks he can get away with it until his wife reveals this clue.
I lost my mind after I shot him. I guess I was seeking vengeance on the one that made it all start. That's all I can say, sir.
I understand.
I was in temporary madness.
It was just a week away from Christmas, December 18th, 2020, when deputies on the Escambia County Sheriff's Office were called to the scene of a domestic disturbance at a trailer on the outskirts of Pensacola. At the scene, they would find a dead man riddled with bullets, a distraught mother, and a woman trapped inside a camper, herself unhurt but also shot at multiple times. It was a scene of chaos.
You hear any gunshots? Huh?
Florida things. Dude, we've had a lot of Florida. We've had, God, we like almost every video has been Florida lately.
Is the guy still here?
Yeah, there's no guns. Guys left guns on. There's no guns here.
Is somebody shot?
I'm the neighbor.
Is somebody shot?
Florida Corps.
He's dead. He's dead.
Is multiple people or just one?
There's 2 people, but he's shot. He's dead. I'm the neighbor.
140. Have the other units en route not come to me, but to look for the vehicle. A red Challenger. Does it have tinted windows? Or
Jesus.
Tinted windows. He's got a sunroof.
There's no guns on purpose.
Red Challenger, tinted windows.
How many been shot?
Need more Wisconsin body cams?
All right, so give me.
Yeah, we need to go to what's the channel? The blue code something or whatever. That's the one with all the Wisconsin ones.
About this vehicle, is there anything on the vehicle that makes it stand out?
It's just a Challenger. I'm next door. I heard a gunshot.
Yeah, man.
Sam, come here, Sam.
Start crime scene.
Yeah, code blue cam. That's what it is. As a Texan, it's usually us or Florida. I can only imagine why Texas and Florida have a lot of body cam videos of people shooting people. There's got to be some sort of like connection, but I get no idea. No idea why. I can only imagine why people die from guns.
3 shots have gone through the doorknob mechanism of the camper behind the trailer, and it takes deputies a couple of minutes to get the door open, freeing Samantha Noble and her dog. Samantha had taken cover in the camper during the shootings, knowing that she was targeted to be killed by the shooter. The shooter, 58-year-old James
Thank you, Stu Daddy, for the Prime.
had fled the scene in an orange Dodge Challenger before any officers arrived.
Oh my God, he looks exactly the type to drive one of these vehicles. Why is it always like these dudes? Like these like older white dudes who like think that they still want to be young and cool. They always, it's like the Challenger or Chargers. They always get those vehicles, man. Like the muscle cars, like the Mustang and the fucking Camaros and the Challengers. It's always those dudes.
8-year-old James Izzy Blackman had fled the
Izzy.
Hey, where would he go?
I have no idea.
Is there anyone else in the house?
No.
Is it red or is it orange?
Either that or Cybertruck drivers. No, I feel like Cybertruck drivers are just rich people who like think they're better than everyone else. 100%. Because like these dudes would never be able to afford an actual Cybertruck because they always go for Challengers and Mustangs and Camaros because they're like in the price range where like you don't have to be rich to buy one, but you can also still be obnoxious, right? Yeah, the Cybertrucks are always just rich people who like just be like, yes, look at my Cybertruck. What do you have? Oh, not a Cybertruck? Couldn't be me.
Is it red or an orange car?
It's orange, I guess.
Is it orange or red?
It's orange, I believe.
And then, inexplicably, James comes roaring back down the dead-end street, pulls up to the property, and gives himself up.
I like this angle. You turn the volume a bit. It's like all the way up. I feel like it's loud. Is it not loud? It's loud for me.
Hey. We got him.
I didn't mean to kill him. He pulled a gun on me. He left me no choice.
I got it.
And then I flipped out after that. I'm sorry. He left me no choice. He pulled a gun on me.
There's no one inside.
I got him.
Don't move. Don't even move.
I'm sorry.
You're good. You're good.
I'm being peaceful. I'm not going to fight you in any way.
Dude, you're good.
I came back to turn myself in. I tried to turn myself in down the road.
You're good.
Yeah. Fuck. Yeah.
Before we begin, we would like to extend our deepest sympathies to the family and loved ones of Christopher Roan, who lost his life in this incident. While it's far from unusual for a suspect to turn themselves in, it is pretty rare for one who escaped the scene of a crime to have such a change of heart and come right back among a swarm of law enforcement officers and surrender peacefully. Unprompted by the deputy, James just begins talking and talking. The deputy, D. Grisham, is careful not to ask the man anything more than the basic questions and only to respond to questions about the man's well-being. Even though
Baby
James
making
is
music
giving
on
a
true crime's
confession,
kinda crazy.
he still has rights to counsel and to remain silent, even if he has not been advised of those rights or had invoked them. The deputy does nothing to jeopardize any case that can be made. James, however, just tries his best to explain what happened from his point of view.
I didn't mean to kill him. I just didn't have a choice. But I lost my mind after that. I don't know what happened after that. I just went berserk.
And your first name's James?
Yes, sir. I think I'm in control of myself now only because I tried to turn myself in and I brought me back to clarity.
What's your...
So that's why...
The demons took over, right? The voices in your head. Just can't control myself. Sometimes the wolf just comes out.
Came down the street like I did. I wanted
Is wolf inside of him, you know?
to turn myself
Just keeps
in
coming and
right
coming.
here without being shot. I'm scared of the boy. He's dangerous.
Yes, sir.
And he was coming at me and I didn't know what to do, so I grabbed my gun and then I didn't try to shoot him with it. I tried to hit him with it, and then he took the gun away, and then he got the gun and was coming at me. I thought he was going to kill me with it, man.
Wait, hold up. So you shot him because he had a gun pulled on you, but he took your gun. He took your gun and pulled your gun on you. Did you have two guns? What? Huh?
You know what I'm saying?
I hear you, sir.
So I got my gun and I shot him.
What? So you got your gun stolen from you, but then you got your gun and you shot him, even though he had the gun and pointed at you. They traded guns. The gun had a gun. Okay, it's making sense, chat. It's making sense.
I ran to the other room, got my gun, which is my wife's gun.
Oh, so it wasn't your gun. Okay, so you had your gun pointed at him. He stole your gun, pointed the gun at you. You ran to get your gun, which wasn't your gun. It was your wife's gun. And then you pulled that gun on him and you shot him because he had your gun. Okay, so the gun has a wife is what I'm getting at. So like it's the wife of the gun that the guns are married. Okay, yeah, I'm getting it.
I grabbed my wife's gun and shot him.
Yes, sir.
He was pointing the gun right at my head.
It's all coming
We
together.
need to stop here for just a moment and try to explain the very complex situation of the family living in this particular spot on Lockwood Drive in Escambia County. The trailer was owned by Linda Blackman, James's ex-wife. He had lived there with her, even though the couple had been divorced years before. They had been married for over 20 years before divorcing. However, after James had a series of incidents that ended up with him being physically and mentally disabled, she and her son allowed him to move back in with them. The son, Christopher Roan, was now in his mid-30s. He had spent a few years in prison and had been released 2 years prior to this incident.
All right.
Because he and James sometimes didn't get along, they bought a camper for Chris and set it up in the back for him to live in. At the time...
Chat, is it bad? This is going to sound so trashy. I don't even know if I should say this, but this exact situation I was living this exact situation. My brother-in-law, who is 40, he's like high 30s, lived in a camper in my parents' front yard when I was a teenager. Because he went to prison. Okay, no,
of the shooting...
I won't go into detail, but it's literally was okay.
Chris had been living in the camper with his then 50-year-old girlfriend, Samantha Noble. Samantha and Chris had a very volatile relationship. Of the four, only Linda held a job, often working 10 to 12
Chat, it was when I was a teenager. Okay.
days to support her family. And now, Chris's
What's
body...
the point, Pig? There's no point. It just reminded me of it. I thought it was funny. You know, gave you a little piece of my life. Thought it'd be interesting to share a little bit of my life to you guys.
lay in the hallway of Linda's trailer, dead, while James sat handcuffed in the back of a patrol car.
Is my wife okay?
Which one's your wife, sir?
The one that owns the house, Linda. Is she okay?
So your gun has a wife too?
She didn't get hurt? Thank you, God. She was in between us. That's
No,
what I was
it just
worried
made
about.
me hate you. All right, I'm literally never sharing anything about my life again. All right. Locked.
She was trying to keep him from shooting me.
I'm locking it.
The enormity of what has happened continues
You will know
to come
nothing of
crashing
me
down on
from here on
James
out.
as he keeps talking in the back seat of the cruiser.
I'm sorry. I hope the Lord will forgive me is all I can hope for him.
What was that
I hate people who fucking do that shit,
other
dude.
guy's name?
Maybe
my
God
son,
will
my
forgive
stepson.
me.
Your stepson?
That's all I care about.
It's Chris Roan, R-O-A-N.
I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit that I killed him. As long as God forgives me.
Christopher. His dad's gonna want to kill me now. His dad's the son of Silence, enforcer, gang member. I'll be forever looking over my shoulder because of this. But I didn't have a choice.
I'm sure you did,
It
buddy.
was him or me, the way I seen it.
I'm sure you did.
Sir, are they gonna put me to death for what I've done?
Sir, that whole issue is so far from being even considered or resolved at this point that
I'm not afraid of death, but I'm saying I didn't do it on purpose.
I understand that, sir.
I didn't want it to happen.
I understand.
And I was afraid of it happening. And I've said it many times, you know, that boy's dangerous, you know?
Yes, sir.
I didn't need to be in the same house with him.
Deputies would cordon off the street and begin canvassing the neighbors for witnesses to the crime. Crime scene investigators would begin the process of finding, photographing, and collecting evidence at the scene. 3 pistols used in the incident were identified. That included one
There's 3? So the guns are having an affair.
that had been in the floorboard of James's car used to fire into the camper at Samantha, one that had been used to shoot Chris inside the trailer, and a third that had been found unloaded on the railing of a porch that had been involved in the initial confrontation between James and Chris.
The guns
12
had a
rounds
kid?
had been fired into the body of Chris Roan,
Jesus.
1 to the head and the rest striking his left arm and torso. 7 shots were fired into the camper. Amazingly, none struck Samantha Noble. James would be taken to the sheriff's office for
Guys, I think firing the gun 12 times sounds like self-defense. I'm just like, if I was trying to protect myself, I would, you know, fire 12 times, making sure like he's fully dead. I think it's fair.
official
Checks
questioning
out.
and processing. In addition, both Linda and Samantha were taken to the sheriff's office to give statements. While the outcome of the argument was, without a doubt, there were still some unanswered questions as to why this escalated so quickly on this particular day. Let's start by looking in on the interview with Linda Black.
I mean, that is true. Yeah. Like 12 times. Actually, I think it was like 16 times for that one cop that shot that 17-year-old that was just chilling on the side of the road. You know, that would totally self-defense. You know what I mean? So it makes sense. It makes sense, right? If a cop could do it, he could do it, right?
Blackman. She has waited for over an hour for someone to come and take her statement.
Why don't you tell me what happened today?
Well, my
You
son is
fire
moving
until they
to
stop
Cameron
moving.
back
Official
home,
training.
so
Yeah.
They don't always get along. And so we thought the perfect thing, because my son was a slob, so I didn't really want him to move back in my house. So we come up with the idea of selling him the camper, let them live in the backyard. That way when
If it's not a full clip, it's not self-defense. True. True.
they fight,
Spoken like a true patriot right there.
he can come in the house and they can get away from each other and work it out. So Chris has been in my house the last 2 nights sleeping, which everything has been going fine.
Dude, I'm honestly surprised how chill she is about her son dying.
Today we get up and it just all happened so fast. First, they started arguing about, because him and her were arguing.
People saying shock, chat. It's been like an entire day. Like, I feel like that would be enough time for like shock to wear off. Shock happens like in the moment. I mean, I don't know.
And James and Chris
I was half rage baiting. Well, you did a good fucking job.
yinging each other, and just over their fighting and how it needs to stop, break up if y'all can't use the same old story. Then they started to physically come together, which is when I stepped in between them to try to keep them from swinging. James had a gun, I guess, in his hand.
Sometimes shocking last
and
weeks.
When they first started fighting, apparently Chris hit his hand and the gun fell out.
I wouldn't know. I've never murdered someone, chat. I'm sorry.
Out of his hand and went over for the TV.
Okay.
And then Chris picks the gun up and goes outside with it. And James comes out of the bedroom and saying, "You better get that damn gun from him." And I said, "I'll handle it. Just stay out of it and let me take care of it. I got it under control." So then apparently Chris went out to the camper and then he come back in. Honestly, I don't know if he came in the front door or back door. Like I said, it went so fast. Then they started doing the yin-yang again. I have a taser. And honestly, I was trying to get to my bedroom to get my taser because I was going to taser their asses.
It's obvious that Linda was trying her best to make peace, and from what she would describe, it was something she'd been having to do often.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck yin-yanging means.
Over the years between the two men, and even more so since Samantha had moved in. The four people had been living on a powder keg this entire time. On this day, she could not prevent it from exploding.
So I didn't get to my taser in time. The next thing I know, they're in between each other. I'm coming in between them again. Amongst them fighting, I get knocked over the coffee table. That's why everything was the cigarette, because I fell over the coffee table. I got up. About that time, I get up and try to get in between again, and James just fucking pulls the damn trigger and just unloads it on my son. And I am standing right there. I can't believe I didn't get shot. Because I am telling you, I am this close to where my son is. We're right, hugged her up almost right on each other. And he just starts shooting.
Did Chris have a gun at that time?
I really don't know. Like I said, it just went so fast, I don't know. I remember Chris saying, "Nobody's going to pull a fucking gun on me and get away with it." And they was just like this. And like I said, I got in between them. I got knocked down over the coffee table, fell on the floor, got back up. And then I think I got between them again because I was standing up when he pulled that trigger. So I must have got up after.
You know what's interesting? Didn't at the beginning of this video, we found out that the dude had a mental and physical disability. There's 3 guns. There's 3 guns at this property, by the way, chat. And it was already like clarified at the beginning of this video that he has a mental disability. It's 3 guns. Wild.
After I fell, got back up in between them, trying to get them apart, and I didn't realize, I guess he had that other gun, and he just, but I was this close to my son when he started pulling that trigger.
It's not like they had 4.
I really don't know, to be honest with you. I have no idea. He didn't live with me for many years. So what he done in that time, we did not talk to each other.
Linda would go on to say that it had been Chris who asked her to let James move back in with them. James had been in a severe car accident that left him with broken hips, a pelvic fracture, and a broken leg. That, coupled with the man having been struck by lightning 15 years
what the fuck?
earlier, left the middle-aged man unable to work or care for himself. The investigators bring Linda back to the...
That sucks. Like, I mean, damn. Bro's been through it. I mean, it doesn't warrant killing someone, but like, damn.
Story of what happened, asking her to help them see how each was positioned during the shooting.
Zeus tried to kill him, yeah.
If you'll stand up for me. So we're arguing. So if James would
have been you.
Okay.
You would have been Chris. I was like this trying to get him. And the next thing I know, like I said, James just pulls a gun and just starts shooting.
Did that happen behind you or?
No, he was in front of me the whole time.
Okay.
They were both like right here. I was like right here.
Okay, so it would have been like this.
Yeah.
And if he's Chris, Did you see Chris raise his hand or
No,
anything, like he got a gun? Or
no, I was watching James
Okay.
mostly because James has been being mental. I mean, I knew when I married this man all these years ago he wasn't quite normal. You know, I mean, I didn't realize he was, but he did get
The man was walking in the weather, said absolutely not. Yeah, damn, dude. Zeus tried, bro. Zeus tried.
struck by lightning. I don't know if that's what's happened. He's been diagnosed over the years. I kept saying, you got mental problems, you need to go get help. So we did actually go to get help.
The help he received, in the end, did not help him cope with the life going on around him, and it played out horribly on that December afternoon.
About Chris, was he ever violent with Chris? Did he ever threaten him with?
Oh, they've gotten to arguments many a times, but I don't think it ever really got physical between them, really.
I'm sorry, did you say earlier that once the gun got knocked out of James's hand, Chris picked it up?
Yes, Chris did pick it up.
Okay, so he wasn't lying. All right.
I did
So
see
he wasn't lying about Chris taking the gun.
Chris with the gun. He picked the gun up. He went out the front door with the gun. And I believe he went out to the camper where Samantha...
When you say the front door, you call the front door the back by the camper?
No, I call the front door the front by the road.
Okay, so he went out the front door?
Yes.
Okay.
I believe he went out the front door. Like I said, it all was going so fast.
Mm-hmm.
I believe he went out the front door, and I think he went around to the camper at that time. Then the next thing
3 guns, a history of domestic violence, a mentally disabled man, and a felon who ain't supposed to have guns. That was a situation asking for tragedy. I know, right? How much you want to bet they just walked into a store and bought it, too?
I know, he's back in the house and started in. I kept saying, Bud, stop, you know, I'll take care of this. And then they tie up again, and I get back in between them, and then that's when it hit. But I did not honestly notice. I really wasn't paying attention. I don't know if Chris had that other gun in his hand or not. I don't know.
How did their shell casings from bullets out in the
In
back?
Florida, you can get puppies the same place you can get a gun. Isn't it like pawn shops is like the go-to? I mean, there's pawn shops. Actually, I don't know if they do that anymore in Illinois. I know when I was younger, pawn shops also sold guns. But I know like that's like the place to get guns. It's just like he's walking to a pawn shop. Hey, can I get that? Like, yeah, sure.
Back.
Okay, you know how that happened? After he shot my son, he went to the back door and said he was going to kill her, or he was going after her. I ran out. I think I must have ran out a second before him or right after him. I think it was after he went out, because he started firing, and I yelled to her, "Run, Samantha, he's going to shoot and kill you."
Jesus.
And then I turned around, not knowing what he would do then, and ran through the house across to my neighbors across the road, because then I was scared he might come after me.
So he goes to
My
that
God.
door. Does he walk down in the yard or?
Honey, I don't know. I ran like hell after that.
Okay.
Let's pause for a moment with Linda and look back on the statement given by Samantha Noble. She would spend roughly 2 hours before being questioned by law enforcement to get her side of the story.
Damn, that sucks. They had her waiting 2 hours? What the fuck? Is this a doctor's office or is this like a detective police station? What, 2 hours? It's not like she's the criminal.
It has been a terribly stressful day for Samantha, but it is obvious that she has been living in an incredibly complicated life.
I went back in the camper and I never fucking come back out. I was in there and I hear all this yelling going on while I was watching Criminal Minds. I recorded 4 days worth of it and I couldn't tell if the yelling was on there, so I turned the TV off and I could tell the shit was just hitting the fan in there. So I popped the screen door on the camper's on the inside, so I popped the doors open and I just had my ear out. I see Chris come around the front, so I opened the door and I was like, "What the fuck you doing?" And I see he had a firearm in his hand. He said, "This fucker just pulled a gun on me." He said, "I kicked it out of his hand." He said, "I don't know what to do, Sam." Well, I hear Miss Linda going off like something happened to her, and that's his mom. I should never let him go back in there. Should never let him go back in there, and he darted in there.
Probably crazy tired. Yeah, I know.
I heard all the shots.
What did Chris do with the gun?
he took the clip out, laid the clip on the rail outside.
Oh shit. Oh. So Chris wasn't even threatening him. It's a magazine. Okay, chat, I don't think now is the best time for correcting whether or not it's a clip or magazine. But he tried. He literally took the magazine out.
I guess he had the gun still in his hand. I know the clip was outside from what I seen. There was part of the gun laying outside on the rail.
Okay.
And then the next thing I know, Miss Linda opens that back door. She said, "Run, Sam, run. James has shot Chris." And he come behind her, and I seen the other gun. And I was just trying to lock myself in. And that's where you see all the bullet holes right here. He's trying to shoot me. And I got on top of my dog, and I called 911.
Oh,
There's
my
a
God.
need to see if James had a history of violence with members of the family, and so Samantha is asked about that dynamic.
James is really bad about knocking her down.
Reference went over a pig's head. Dude, I know that they're referencing Moist Critical. Do I need to clarify that? I know what they're referencing, but regardless, it's like, who cares?
Down and shit. Because I left Chris, I don't know, shit, at the beginning of the year. I moved out for a little while.
The magazine has a
I went back
wife
to
and
get some
kid
stuff,
too.
And James come out the back door, threatening to kill me and the girl that was with me. And I was like, "What the fuck's wrong with him, Linda?" She's like, "He's just off his meds. Just, I'll handle him." He was nasty. But I just figured he was mouthing it crazy. I really, never in a million years. James usually stays in the bedroom. If y'all see in his room, he's got electric guitars hooked up everywhere. The whole neighborhood hears him play. He's a badass guitarist. And he is, like I said, he's flaky as Looney Bird, always prepared
I'm sure he thinks he's a badass guitarist, but I'm sure everyone else doesn't think the same.
for the end of the world. Just, he's off his rocker. Jesus slid off the cracker a long time ago.
Finally, she asks about James and how he's holding up through all of this.
Can I ask you something?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you talked to James?
I have.
Does he feel bad?
Is he what?
Does he feel bad? Does he know what he's done?
He knows what he's done.
He doesn't feel bad.
He has shown some remorse. So it's
No, I wouldn't say so. It looked like he was more like, I didn't do anything wrong. I had to do it. I didn't do anything wrong.
as far as killing Chris. He left out the part about shooting at you.
So let's look in on James' interview with the investigators. He is relatively calm, often remorseful about what happened. There's no attempt to weasel out of what he has done, but it seems important that he tries to explain what drove him to this.
I didn't want to kill him, though. I was
12 shots. I mean, like, I didn't want to kill him. I just wanted to scare him, you know? Just wanted to scare him away. Thought shooting him in the head and then 11 times in the body would scare him away. I didn't actually think he'd die. Like, come on.
scared of him. Have been for a long time. Surprised it hasn't happened sooner.
You're surprised you didn't kill him sooner? Is this guy serious? Is this guy serious? What?
Yes, sir.
To be honest with you,
Yes, sir.
I was kind of hoping that he would possibly mess himself up and go back to prison or something so we would be away from our family, but I know that's terrible to wish for your only child, but
I understand what you're saying, sir.
And then they ask him about Samantha.
All right.
I woke up, they was all arguing in the house. It was like, we've got this girl that's been staying with us,
Yes, sir.
staying with my son, and she's like the devil. I mean, she's just like the devil.
What the fuck, dude? This guy actually thinks he's in the right in this situation, saying this shit. What the fuck? Are you kidding me? Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
And who is that? The girl.
I don't know what her last name is.
Okay. What's her first name?
Samantha.
Okay.
He would go on to tell investigators that he had been telling Linda that she needed to file official eviction papers to get Samantha out of the camper and out of their lives. He explained that Linda felt that Chris, for all the fighting that was going on, didn't want that, and she was caught in the midst of it all. The investigators would bring him back to explaining what had happened at the time of the shooting.
Oh God, both of his shoes are untied. Oh my God. They're not just untied. They're like, his laces aren't even on his shoes. What the fuck?
I don't really know what happened from there. My son said something about you're not going to do anything to nobody, and he started going in an outrage.
Okay.
And said he was going to hurt me or something. I heard him yelling something from the other room. And
Yeah, he probably doesn't know how to tie him.
So I was already looking for a weapon because I knew he was coming.
Yeah, those are the shoelaces of a guilty man.
When I looked out the door, he was coming.
From when you looked out the door, out the bedroom door?
Out my bedroom door.
Okay.
I seen him coming, and his mama was in between them trying to push him away.
Okay.
So while she was pushing him away, I ran and got her gun.
Okay.
And he was trying to get to me, and I guess I was trying to get to him. We were tussling.
Right.
He knocked the gun out.
He ran. Oh, here we go. Okay, so he ran and got a gun. He knocked the gun out of his hand. Then he ran and got a gun. And then he knocked that gun out of his hand. And then he ran and got another gun. And then he shot him.
In my hand. The gun went across the room. He went running for the gun. I knew what was going to happen next.
Okay.
So I ran for another gun.
There's so many guns. Oh my God.
Gun I had. My gun. I ran for my gun because I knew he had a gun at that point.
You ever think, well, obviously he didn't think, but obviously he was just knocking out of your hand because he's worried you were going to kill him, not because he wanted to kill you?
Because he was running for the gun, so I ran the other way.
Okay.
When I come back, she was trying to get him to stop again. He had the gun over his shoulder, pointing it right at my face, and said, "You ain't going to point no gun at me ever again." And that's when I shot him.
Okay.
And when I shot him, I seen him moving. At least I think I did. Best as I can remember. I thought I saw him move again. So I unloaded the gun.
They bring.
But you didn't want to kill him, though. Chat, remember? He didn't want to kill him. All right.
Him back to the environment that led up to the shooting.
Thank you, Moody
What
Moon.
had set it off that afternoon?
She was throwing the furniture out of the house this morning.
The girlfriend?
Yeah, that's what I got up to. They was telling me, "Do you know what that crazy bitch is outside doing right now?" And I was like, "What?" And said she's throwing the furniture out on the fire pit. Gonna burn the furniture they just bought yesterday. I said, "God damn, I don't want to hear this shit today. You know, I can't hear no more of this." I told her, I said, "Linda, go down there and get a fucking eviction notice on that woman. I'll pay for it my goddamn self." I said, "Just go do it. Let's get that bitch out of here before she ruins our household."
So you kill your stepson?
And she said, "I've had enough of it myself. I've got to do something." I said, "Well, all you got to do is serve her eviction and get her the fuck out of here."
Yeah, then do
She
that.
said, "I'm not ready to do that because of Chris. You know what Chris will do. Chris will go crazy over that shit, you know. I was getting involved in it." I said, "I know, Linda, but goddamn, you know, this shit can't keep going on like this. You know, every day it's just turmoil, turmoil, turmoil. He's yelling, they're yelling at each other. He's threatening, she's threatening. You know, she's threatening our family with violence from other people. You know, he's threatening her violence. I'm going to kill you, bitch. You know, he's going to kill his own girlfriend. You know, it's every fucking day. Everybody's going to get killed."
The investigators leave the room. They're
But you're the one who killed. No one else did.
going back and forth between the three survivors of the incident, trying to get the story down. 2 hours after leaving James, one officer comes back in, walking in as James is down on his knees, head down, deep in prayer.
Oh my God, dude, these fucking pussies, man. You're a bunch of pussies, dude. Please, God, please forgive me. Let me into heaven. I only murdered my stepson. Come on, bro, please. It's one murder. And it's my stepson. It's not like it was my actual son. Come on, God. Throw me a bone here, dude. Jesus. Christ, help me as well.
Hey, James. Hey, I'm back, buddy. What you doing, Bubba? Praying?
Yes, sir.
You a godly man?
I try to be.
Yeah, me too. Same here. It's tough in this world.
Yeah, because godly men murder their stepsons.
But I try to be also, because I'm a believer that when you leave this earth, that you go someplace.
I saw the Christ. I know he's real.
Here we go. Like clockwork. Like fucking clockwork, dude. They always do this shit, man. Always. Murderers just instantly go to God.
And I certainly don't want to go down there, so I try to be right with the man.
I saw hell too.
So
when I got struck, I went right into hell.
It changed your life, didn't it? I mean, it changed it in not the best way, obviously, but you got your life spared, right?
I've been trying, but you know.
Thank you,
the
Celestial.
world just doesn't have it in for me.
Well, you know, no matter what happens from this day forward.
I'm sorry, buddy, but I don't think that God likes you if you're getting struck by lightning. Your so-called God. I don't think he likes you, dude. I don't think he likes you if you're getting struck by lightning.
You know, no matter.
I have the Lord in my heart.
That's right. No matter what law enforcement, what judge, what courts, anything like that, that's only temporary in this life, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Because when we go home,
God ordered the
we
hit.
go home.
Yeah.
Right?
I hope the Lord will have me now that this has happened.
Well, you know, I'm also a firm believer that there's, you know, if you talk to Jesus, talk to God, and you repent your sins, and
I've been trying so hard.
Dude, I'm sorry. That is honestly the most like selfish, disgusting way to look at it. Like the whole religion thing of like, oh, just if you know, you pray a bunch, God will forgive your sins. I know you brutally murdered your stepson, but I mean, like, God's chill, bro. God's so chill. Like, he'll let you in anyway. There goes my internet. Is my internet gone? Why did it go red? Am I good, chat? Is stream good? Okay, I think stream's good. You're still here? Okay. It went red. Okay, we're good. That was weird.
It's just, I don't feel like I was left any choice on that. He would have killed me.
And I totally get that.
But then
I'm not judging you at all, buddy. I have no malice, ill will, or anything towards you because of what you did. That's not my job. And I've talked to hundreds of people that have sat right here in your shoes, you know?
I don't have any malice against myself. I felt like I was doing what I needed to do to keep me alive.
Oh my God, you fucking prick.
It serves as a stark reminder that even in a situation of extreme violence where one person takes another's life, that real human beings are involved and sometimes their actions weigh heavily on themselves, and that a world of complications can lead up to something irrevocable. And in this case, there was almost a second murder, and now James needs to answer to that.
And after the incident happened with Chris, all right, then what'd you do? Because I know what you did.
I think I tried to kill that girl.
Yes, sir.
But I did. I was out of my...
Out of self-defense, chat. Self-defense. Thank you, Layla, for 3 months. He did it out of self-defense.
Mind. I was just like I was on autopilot. I couldn't stop myself. I'm being honest.
You go out the back door?
I saw him. I looked in his face and I saw him dead. And I immediately held her responsible for it.
What a goddamn narcissist, dude. Holy fuck. You did this. You shot him 12 times. It wasn't me. I did nothing. I was protecting myself. It's all your faults.
Because of her?
Yeah.
So you march outside.
I think I was going to kill her.
And you started shooting?
I think so, yeah.
Porch? Steps? Yard?
I don't know.
Did you empty the pistol?
Probably did, yeah.
Okay.
I think I was trying to kill her. I don't know. I was out of my mind. I was holding her responsible for it. That's where my guilt lies.
Okay.
Is after the fact.
Dude, fuck off. There's zero guilt. You literally went on a huge rant about how much of a bitch and a horrible person she is. And you're like, oh, I just feel so guilty for trying to kill her. No, you fucking don't. Okay. Shut up.
I'll admit that totally. I'm guilty of that.
And in the end, guilty is what the jury found James Blackman of in the second-degree murder of Christopher Roan and the first-degree attempted murder of Samantha Noble. The case would be heard in state court on July 21st and 22nd of 2022. James would be given a life sentence with a mandatory 25-year term for killing Chris and a consecutive life sentence with mandatory 20-year minimum for attempting to kill Samantha.
Good. Fucking piece of shit. What a fucking piece of shit, dude. Oh my God. All right.
Now it's time to walk away. I hope you enjoyed your stay. Did you laugh or cry or maybe subscribed? I'll thank you either way. You know I will miss you. I hope you return. Tell your friend or your mother to get me more views, please.